Okay, so for my chicken, I have chicken breast, but you can use whatever cut you want. I'm going to season with 1 packet of sazon. I like adding it for color. I also am gonna use a roasted garlic and herb seasoning. I got this one from Aldi. Also, there's one, the Weber Grill brand has one that's really good too. And the kicked up chicken is also one of my favorites too. But I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of this. And I also am going to add in some of this Moroccan seasoning. This seasoning's really good. This is actually a random seasoning I found at Marshall's, I think it was. But it's got turmeric, ginger, and nutmeg. It's really good. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that on there. But if you don't have it, don't worry about it. Season it however you like. And I'm going to do a little bit of salt. I use sea salt for everything, so you can use regular salt, no big deal. And a drizzle of olive oil. And then I'm just going to go ahead and rub the seasoning on both sides of the chicken because we want them to be seasoned well. And then we're going to pop it in the oven. I'm in a rush, so I have my oven at 450, and I'm just going to bake these quick, but you could go low and slow. I love doing chicken low, like 300, 250 for like hours. Oh my God. And then it comes out so juicy and so delicious, but I just don't have time for it today. So I have the oven all the way up, and I'm going to try and get these cooked quick. So for the Maftoul, I just have some store-bought Maftoul. I'm using the Ziyad brand today. So what I have is my pan preheating. I added in about 2 teaspoons of olive oil, and I have half a bag here. I'm just going to add it to the pan, and I'm just going to toast it. So I'm just going to mix it around to make sure it doesn't burn, and just give it a nice light toasting. Spilling everywhere. Does everybody else make a huge mess when they're cooking like me, or is it just me? I'm gonna let this toast for just a couple of minutes, and then we'll be back. I wish you guys could smell this because it already smells amazing. It's getting nice and toasty, so I'm gonna go ahead and add in my seasoning. Instead of using chicken broth, which you can do, I'm using the bouillon powder. I love this brand. This one's really good, so I don't really measure. I'm just gonna sort of put it in, and you want to keep moving it around because you want to make sure that it doesn't burn. I'm also going to add some of this better than bouillon. I'll probably do like a spoon or 2. Let's see, because I already put in the Maggi powder. So I think 1 is good. I'm just going to do 1 spoon. And I know, but you really want the broth to be flavorful, so it's important that you season it well. I'm going to also add in some of this vegeta or whatever. It's like a vegetable-based soup starter. I'm just going to add in a little bit of that because I really want my broth to be like a chicken flavored. I know this last one, I know it's vegetable based, but the other 2 are chicken. So now I'm just going to add some water. So I have a bowl here. I just want enough just to cover it. Okay, so now that I have that in, I can go ahead and add in my seasoning, and I don't have to worry about burning the Maftoul while I'm adding in the seasoning, because now I have the liquid. So for my seasonings, I'm gonna add in a dash of curry powder. I like adding curry powder to a lot of my dishes. I feel like it just gives it a really good taste. I don't know what it does, but it does. I'm adding in just a splash of turmeric, a tiny bit, and then ground cumin. I don't really measure. I just go by the way it tastes. And this is mixed spices. I'm going to go ahead and add in some of that. And I'm not going to add salt because I added in the Maggi powder and the Better Than bouillon. So once this comes to a boil, I'll taste it. And if it needs more seasoning, I will add more. If it has too much seasoning, I'll just add in a little bit more water and go from there, you know. As it comes up to a boil, you just taste your broth and see if it needs any additional seasoning. And I'm really glad I didn't add in any salt because it is seasoned perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and reduce the heat down to simmer, pop the lid on, and I'll stir it occasionally until all the liquid is absorbed and the maftoul is fully cooked. It's been about 35 minutes or maybe 40 minutes. I hired the heat all the way and the maftoul is fully cooked. I'm just waiting for the water to fully evaporate. It's almost there. You could see it's grown quite a bit. So this is half of a box and it's a little bit more than halfway filling up this large pot. So now all I have to do is add in 1 can of drained chickpeas and I'm just gonna mix it in. I'll serve it with my chicken up on top and top it with some sauteed onions and tomatoes too. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the heat. You can see it is almost completely dissolved, all the liquid. It's very flavorful, very delicious. And now I'm gonna go buy a can of chickpeas because I don't have any and I thought I did. So I'm just gonna buy the chickpeas, drain them, and stir them in, and then serve it with the chicken on top and some sauteed onions and tomatoes. Yum. Okay guys, crisis averted. I went and got a 15-ounce can of chickpeas and I drained them and now I'm just slowly mixing them in and the maftoul is ready. Now to serve this, I'm gonna put it in a big platter, put my chicken up on top. I'm going to top it with some sauteed onions and tomatoes and probably a sprinkle of parsley. And dinner is served. All done.